Hello guys, how are we doing? Welcome back to the Free Hammers. It's Sunday, it's match day, but those transfer rumours are not easing up. There's even more come out today. Again, let me state for those of you who are new or those of you who have been here a long time, these are rumours and these are my opinions on the rumours. I am not an in the know. I need to get that out there because I know people throw, in the know so much abuse. And I just want to say I'm not an in the know. These are just the rumours that are out there and the opinions I give on them. First player is a guy called Boubacar Kamara. He is out of contract in the summer. Apparently we're in for him, and as I said on nearly every video I'll probably say between now and the end of the window, it's us and Newcastle. Apparently there are other European clubs in for him. He is very, very, very well renowned. Currently plays for Marseille, played for Marseille's whole career. 22 years old, French under 21 international, can play at centre back and CDM, much like Rice. So throughout his career, he's sort of developed more into a CDM, but is renowned and can play at CDM as well. When he first started breaking through, when he was about 19, 20, his nickname was the Technical Destroyer. And I like that, that's a good one. I like that. That's I have visions of like Kante and Yaya Toure when I see that Technical Destroyer. His strengths are listed as approaching a tackle, so he's very good at the jockeying. He can hold a player off and read the game very, very well. Timing of the tackle is also very good. Someone like Declan Rice very, very good at the timing of the tackle. One-on-ones in wide areas, he's very, very good at. Very rarely gets done in a wide-to-wide area, and he's got a very good first touch. So when the ball gets played into him, he very rarely gets done with a high press. Weaknesses are quick players. Sometimes quick players can get the better of him, and patrolling space. So sometimes when he's got too much space, to defend, he gets a little bit caught out. He's better in tighter areas. Apparently the stumbling block would be for both clubs, even Newcastle with their billions and billions. He wants 150 grand a week. For a player that's unproven in the Premier League, it's a lot of money for a 22-year-old, but he's a very good player. He is, and I do know a bit about him. I have seen a few clips of him. Read a little bit about him. He looks really, really good player, and obviously this would be an inevitable replacement for Mark Noble if he was to play that CDM role. If going forward, Declan Rice was to stay in the summer, for example, this would also free him up and him and Soucek, to be able to get forward while CDM sits in, and does some of the dirty work, or they can, alternate that position. Which going forward, I don't think we'll sign Alex Crowell. So this one probably does have a bit of legs in it. Again, that the money is the stumbling block, especially, we are linked with a few players that want that 100 plus money. Luca Dignier wants 100 plus, if, for example, for someone like that. This guy wants 100 plus. So there are a few players like that. But then listen, if you want to go on and be a good club in your Champions League, with top four aspirations, or consistently even playing in Europa League, you've got to pay Champions League money. And these Champions League players, 150 is a starting number. I mean, I know you've got the upper echelons of the Kevin De Bruyne's and players like that are on 300-400 grand a week, but 150 is a starting price for most Champions League players. And when you've got players like Yarmolenko, and I know we've had our fingers burnt, but we can't let that detract. Not everyone is going to be like that. Not everyone. Next player link is Courtney Hause. Can't say I'm keen on this one, I'll be honest with you. I do my little research though. He was a former Hammer. Was in our youth team with a guy that when I used to work at a school. He used to play with him, a guy called Charlie Adams, who went on to Birmingham, now plays for Maidenhead. But Courtney Hause was with West Ham between 03 and 2011. 26, 6'3", out of contract in the summer. A lot of these players that we're talking about are out of contract in the summer. Aston Villa do have an extension of 1 year if they want to take that out. Strengths are listed as aerial duels, but whenever I read these weaknesses as a defender, it's just a red alert in my mind, like woo, don't sign him. Concentration, passing, and tackling. How can you be bad at tackling if you're a centre-back in the Premier League? Whenever they list that as a weakness for a centre-back, I'm always like, no. we're not going in for him. And concentration is such a huge one under David Moyes. We know that. You know, we've already got someone whose concentration switches off with Diop. If Diop was to stay, you know, we can't be having another one. There's better defenders out there than Courtney Hause for me. You know, and I don't want it to be like the list starts. We start going too far down the list. You know, Nathan Aki would have been a good one. Nate Phillips would have been a good one. Tarkowski would be an amazing signing. You've got Coletta Carr, that's probably even better than Courtney Hause. So, you know, I don't want to be going that far down the list. I hope there's not much legs in this. No, not for me. Not for me. I don't know what you guys think of Courtney Hause, but, you know, I think if he was that good, I do believe that Steven Gerrard would be playing him. You know, I know they've had a few injuries. Villa in the centre-back position as well, and I don't think he's played many games this season, to be honest with you. And especially hasn't made many starts since Steven Gerrard's been in there. Last name on the list today, I know it's a player that James, you might know him as Fatboy Fever, E20 Zone TV. He's been calling for this guy on Twitter, and I have to say I was so impressed with this guy yesterday. For those of you who watched the whole game, is Keane Lewis-Potter from Hull, 20 years old. Was the best player for them yesterday by far. Fantastic. He's a forward, can play left wing, right wing, and a striker. 20 million is believed to be the fee. He's in contract until 2023, so about a year and a half, 18 months left on that contract. Strengths are listed as finishing 100%. Weaknesses are defensive contribution. Obviously something he would have to work on if he was to come to West Ham, as we know it's such an important thing to do under David Moyes. His style of play is he's a very good free kick taker, cuts inside, short passing and dribbling. As I say, finishing is a massive strength. Reminds me of a lot of Jarrod Bowen. You know, we got Jarrod Bowen from Hull as well. Maybe we've got quite a good relationship with him. You know, a few of the players I've mentioned recently, you know, Ben Breton Diaz, Keane Lewis-Potter, sorry. These players come along every now and then, and you've got one chance. Will we get both? No. Will we get either one of them? I probably not. But you don't want another missed opportunity like an Ollie Watkins, like a James Maddison, and you know the list goes on and on and on and on and on. Sometimes you do have to, you know, bite the bullet and take one. With Jarrod Bowen, we did that, and you know we're possibly sitting on a £60 million player now for a £20 million layout. So sometimes, you know, those Championship players, let's not do it. That's a men's league, you know, that's a tough league, you know, and if you're doing well in there, you know, you're getting kicked about a bit, you know, you've got a massive strike. Yeah, it might take you a few months, you know, you might have a great spell at the beginning and then, you know, falter off a little bit, but, you know, if you can get them players in year or two, you know, you've got some top players. Look, it took Jarrod Bowen a little while, and now we're seeing the best of him. If you go and get another one like that with that same work ethic, you know, that same technical ability, you know, you're sitting on players, and that is how you build a team. You know, you invest in some young talent with a good sell-on value, because then, listen, if I don't want to sell Jarrod Bowen, for example, I'm talking about like Keane Lewis-Potter comes in the same sort of situation, right? I don't want to sell Jarrod Bowen, but if we did sell Jarrod Bowen for 60-70 million, it's a huge profit, and then you can go and buy some players again, and you keep that level of consistency up. I don't want us to sell any players that are good, but you can see where I'm going in terms of that is how you consistently start to rebuild slowly by, you know, having that transition of player and having the money and good investment and good buying to do that. Yeah, they're the rumours for today, guys. So Kamara, would love that to happen. Be a really good signing, but the money may be the stumbling block. Courtney Hause, please, not for me. And Keane Lewis-Potter is one that would excite me. You know, that would be a really good signing. Nothing's happened yet. It will happen, but let's believe, guys. Please believe it. Something will happen. I think there's a lot of talk and a lot of discussions going on. I think it's just figuring out who he definitely wants. There might be a few names that, you know, that are definitely happening, and then he's thinking, oh, this one's just come up. Like I think the Luca Dingy one probably has come up late, and maybe they are really looking at that again. I don't know. And obviously there's still them big name strikers that, you know, he keeps flirting with. You know, El Nesri rumour keeps coming back up. And you got that Bamba Dieng, the one that come up yesterday. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Enjoy the game today. Hopefully, you know, we give it a good go today. Expecting a fairly strong lineup. You know, nothing too thingy. But as I think Gio put on Twitter, as the game approaches, you know, I'm waking up this morning, the more excited you get, you know, you put the shirt on, you start building up the excitement, and you start, you know, wanting to have that journey of an FA Cup again. But then, anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Please hit the like button; it really helps out. Thank you so much for all the views recently. It's been absolutely incredible. That 4K is so close now. I think it's about 320 subscribers away. You know, when we hit that 4K again, that's another huge milestone for the channel. Until next time, come on, you irons, keep believing.